pour your favorite beer, live your best frozen pizza life with big toppings and an even bigger taste. When I have a hankering for pizza and beer, I turn my house into a draft house with Pep's Draft House Pizza. The Taproom Double, well, that's my go-to. Double sausage, double pepperoni. I have nice amber beer with it. Man, it is the best. Next time you want pizza, take it to the house with Pep's Draft House Pizza.
KB, it's that time of year again for Iron Jock.
Memorial Day weekend?
Well, yes, but Iron Jock needs to inventory their gear. You could say it's Inventory Count Week at Iron Jock HQ.
So let's help them move some gear. Now through May 25th, when you buy $65 or more of Iron Jock, use the code INVENTORY30 for 30% off your entire order.
And you'll get a free Iron Jock string backpack as a bonus. These are perfect for summertime activities out and about.
Just go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Now through May 25th.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. With over 50,000 satisfied patients, people with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmid. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
Hey y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed, acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply, into life out here.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN, every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920. Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios. Built by Rima Remodel. This is No BS with Billy and Saria.
I've waited for this. I'm so excited.
On the game.
no BS on the game. Billy off today, on assignment today, I should say. Should clarify that. He'll be back tomorrow. Armen's here, Dave's here, you're here. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line is here. Excuse me, 877-794-1973. Got a couple of things that are on the table. Today is Senior Skip Day, as we've been talking about. If you got a good, if you've got a good Senior Skip Day memory, would love to hear it on the Talk and Text line. Senior Prank Day, which is coming up in high schools all around Wisconsin and all over the country as well. I don't want to just limit it to Wisconsin.
No, that's true. It's probably, it seems like an American tradition, Senior Skip Day. I'm not really sure if it's prevalent in some places more than others. Like St. Nick's Day.
Yeah.
St. Nick's Day is
that's a Wisconsin
It's
thing.
like Midwest German tradition, I've heard, So some places it's more of a culture than others.
Without a doubt.
Maybe it is some parts of the country that I'm not aware of.
And then what's your most ridiculous trade?
Yeah, I love this.
And when I say most ridiculous trade, I'm not talking about, the Bucks and Spurs swinging a trade. I'm not talking about the Brewers and the Dodgers swinging a trade. I'm talking about the Packers and the Edmonton Oilers swinging a trade. I'm talking about the Bucks.
Cross-pollinate the sports.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm talking about the Bucks and Manchester United swinging a trade. I want the most ridiculous trade cross sports that you can imagine.
I have to think. I think was it a Red Hot Tim Knott for throwing this idea to us?
Perhaps.
On the text line. If it wasn't him, I apologize to whoever it was.
Maybe we'll get him.
Pretty hilarious idea to think about. Billy's going to be mad he missed his combo. I know that.
Probably, yes. Because the only thing that I can offer is like a trucker hat for like production fee.
Sure.
This is your part-time.
I love that.
You're the part-time producer today. Here's a trucker hat.
Pilot Mike
from the game.
Lacrosse. Would you have traded Wayne Gretzky for Jordan?
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
What I'm talking about. Now that's tough.
That is a tough one.
Both resulted in being the best in their game.
Mm-hmm.
Both won a lot of championships.
4 versus 6.
It's tough because Edmonton's obviously not a basketball market, right? So I'd say they wouldn't have done it.
No, Edmonton wouldn't have done it.
It's more important for them to have a Canadian boy being their guy, the best hockey player ever, winning titles for their town. But, Chicago is interesting because there's a lot of Blackhawks fans in that town.
Sure, of course.
You were telling Chicagoans they could have got 4 Stanley Cups and had Wayne Gretzky.
And the Blackhawks were not good in that era.
No. And the Bulls, in theory, let's just say, didn't have Jordan, but had everything else. They might have contended for one with Pippen and the Pippen heirs.
So what would have been the advantage then for Edmonton, I suppose?
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's what doesn't track.
They would have just
the
had
Edmonton Bulls.
Jordan playing one-on-one at local parks. Like they don't have a team. So
he played baseball.
They don't have baseball. They only have hockey.
The Edmonton Drillers, is that still a team? Is that still a minor league team?
I don't think so. The Edmonton Drillers?
Yeah.
No, there's the Tulsa Drillers.
So,
but then we're going to Tulsa, then we're going to Oklahoma, and Armen doesn't want any of that.
That was Oklahoma City take, not a Tulsa take. Very different towns. I did say Tulsa had that one big statue.
That's true.
That's funny. No, the problem is obviously it's fun to talk about because of the equity in their ability in their respective sports. But it doesn't work for this argument because there's no team to trade Jordan to in Edmonton. So we couldn't do that.
Wemby for Churio. That's for Kiwaska.
Well, the Wemby factor might have a 2-pronged effect. One, it would make the Bucks better, and 2, it would be the new future window for Giannis.
It would be the new future window for Giannis, but
that is tough.
But you're trading the Brewers' future for that.
Well, yes, but maybe you can still have a future with other guys.
Yeah, with Jesus Made.
Yeah, I mean, there are other guys, right?
I'd trade Giannis for Jose Ramirez from Joe and Pewaukee.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wouldn't, but that's
I might have to do Jose Ramirez plus. I love me some Jose Ramirez. He is fantastic, but maybe you got to throw in something else from Cleveland there. Maybe Evan Mobley.
That might be something. Now you're talking. Yeah. Go tell Bill Simmons that.
Yeah.
Kenny the Sidebuster, I'd like to trade Yoel Payams to the American Wrestling Association for Baron Von Raschke. Okay. Good one.
I like that. Let's see. Mailman Jeff, I dream of Jeannie for Mrs. Cleaver. That's okay. Now you're drifting off into Ted Davis territory.
Let's trade TV moms. Would you put Step by Step Suzanne Summers into the Full House cast that didn't have a mom?
Okay. In exchange for?
I guess that's a good point. You have to throw in Aunt Becky or Uncle Joey or whatever.
I'm not trading Aunt Becky for anybody.
Yeah, but I think Aunt Becky would have done great as the mom on Step by
She
Step.
would have done fantastic.
She
Because
was
if you're
just Aunt Becky.
if you're Frank Lambert, you do that trade. But if you're Jesse Katsopoulos, you don't.
I mean, yes. Now I understand why you're saying that, but don't necessarily disrespect Suzanne Summers.
I'm not, but it's Aunt Becky.
She was a star too back then.
It's Aunt Becky.
Listen, I'm with you. This is pre-incarceration Aunt Becky too.
Yeah.
Lori Loughlin.
But
sorry. No, okay.
Post-incarceration, maybe she learned a thing
This is senior skip day, right? We're breaking all the rules. This is senior skip day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to get it, we can trade TV moms too, I guess.
Okay.
We can start thinking of something. What was I?
Right.
Yeah.
Matt Jr. here, he said he'll trade Chris Farley to Australia for Margot Robbie.
Well, no.
Well,
first of all, rest in peace, Chris Farley.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I say no.
That's tough.
I'm saying no.
Yeah.
Chris Farley is the best. I don't.
I loved Chris Farley.
Yes.
I love that he's a Madison guy.
Right.
But Margot
Marquette
Robbie.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't care. No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me at least. I'm saying no.
All right. Babe Ruth for Kareem, Joe in Hartford.
Yeah, for
Interesting.
sure. Babe Ruth's the best player ever in any sport ever. He is. Nobody in their own sports, maybe Wayne Gretzky, I guess, has been better in their sport than Babe Ruth is in baseball. And I understand the eras make it difficult to. You can't, by any objective measure, put anyone besides Babe Ruth in for any sport. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Maybe Wayne Gretzky. Okay, Wayne's greatness was big. I don't even think you say Jordan because people debate Jordan and LeBron and other guys all the time.
Babe Ruth was just so dominant because he could do a couple of things. Yeah, but I mean, he was also part of the. Lou Gehrig was a great player too.
Well, he had great
part
teammates.
of Murderers Row.
He had great teammates, no doubt.
So
they had great teams.
Yeah.
But Babe
was a
Ruth's individual greatness was probably greater in his sport than anyone else's was in their sport. Right? Who's the best football player of all time? I don't know. Jerry Rice. I'm just thinking of names.
Tom Brady, maybe.
Okay, maybe. So I don't want to admit that, but okay, let's say some people believe that. Those guys pale in comparison to how Babe Ruth dominated baseball. So I think you have to say yes to Babe Ruth. For who? Was it for Giannis? No, who was it for?
It was Babe Ruth. Where did it go?
So I'm just giving my opinion on that.
Babe Ruth for Kareem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I'm getting Babe Ruth back. I mean, I think Kareem is criminally underrated, but I would probably say the same thing about Babe Ruth. Criminally underrated.
That's you could say Wilt and Bill Russell, and there's a lot of other guys on Kareem's level, right?
Wilt was so dominant they had to widen the lane for him.
Bill Russell won the same amount of titles as Kareem.
Yeah, but there were like 6 teams in the NBA at the time.
It was fair enough. It was in a different era, no doubt. That's fair.
So, I mean, when I look at comparing era versus era is difficult. But again, it's senior skip day and there are no rules.
Yeah.
There are no rules. Scott Madison, Ginger for Marianne. Well, they're on the same team, actually. Right?
Yeah, but everybody goes Marianne.
Well, I understand
It's like if you're of a certain age, do you go Jennifer Marlowe or Bailey Quarters?
Sure. Or,
and the answer is Bailey Quarters.
Monica or Rachel, right? Friends. A lot of people do that. Like,
the answer is Rachel. Although Monica, she was low key.
Well, Monica had good domestic skills.
Yeah, she did.
Right? Kept everything organized. Great cook.
Yeah.
Rachel brought drama.
That's true.
Monica really
That's
did.
a really good point. That's a really good point.
But I'm still probably picking Jennifer Aniston. That being said.
No shade on Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No.
Of course not. Justin in Kansasville. Reggie White and Favre for Maddox and Glavin.
Oh.
Tough.
Tough because
one title.
Both, and got there another time.
Can I
finish it?
Can I ask for Maddox and Smoltz instead of Maddox and Glavin? Who would you rather have? Smoltz or Glavin? I'm saying John Smoltz.
I would say Smoltz just because he, I think, was a little bit more versatile as a closer later in his career. So had that ability to do both.
Won a Cy Young, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did.
I think he had one of those years.
I'm not taking Maddox out though.
No, Maddox was the
Maddox
best.
has to stay.
He was the most consistently.
Glavin was really good though too. I would probably, if I could get Smoltz, I would say Smoltz over Glavin.
Yeah,
I would agree with you.
96 Cy Young.
Unless you really need a lefty, right? And you got Glavin.
Yeah. It's always good to mix it up a little bit, but
right.
I always thought that was a little bit overblown for starting pitchers. I think having a lefty is more important for the bullpen than it is the rotation. Always has been.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Some of these I'm not going to read. Some of these are making me laugh, but I can't read them. Okay. How about this one? Whistling Straits and Aaron Hills for Augusta National. There you go. Now we're doing golf course. No rules at senior skip day.
Augusta National. Sorry. That's You're going to have to throw to get Augusta National back. You're going to have to throw something else in.
Probably. Yeah. Here's my hot take.
Throw Giannis into it.
They're all grass. They're all grass, water, and trees. Who cares?
Okay.
They're all grass, water, and trees.
Donna Reed or Barbara Billingsley?
Ooh.
I'm going Barbara Billingsley because
the turn that? I have no idea.
Because the turn that she made on Airplane was chef's kiss.
I trust you on that one.
So Barbara Billingsley, June Cleaver, and Donna Reed from the Donna Reed Show.
That was Barbara.
Oh, and from It's a Wonderful Life.
And
she was Mary on It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
So you got to use the character name. I don't know the actor.
Barbara Billingsley was, and the way that she, spun her persona to go 180 degrees in Airplane was so choice.
I'll trust you.
So
on
I'm
that.
gonna go Barbara Billingsley on that because of the versatility.
Did we do Justin in Kansasville, which was Charles Woodson for Albert Pujols?
Oh, here's one. What Mike from Merrill? Why you got to do that?
Oh.
Why do you have to do that?
No.
Why do you have to do that?
I don't even like doing that. Yeah. Don't do it. Really quick though. Do you have an opinion on the Woodson for who did I just say?
Pujols,
I'm sorry.
Albert
Woodson
Pujols.
for Pujols.
Pujols.
I probably would have rolled with Pujols.
Pujols.
As much as I love what Charles Woodson gave, we didn't have all his whole career.
Yeah,
Like,
I go Pujols. Just chew on this on the way out. Thin Scully for Bob Uecker. That's what Mike and Merrill was saying. Come on. Why you got to do that?
Never,
why you got to do that?
Never ever.
Taking Bob.
Doug in for Billy. Billy's back tomorrow. He's on assignment today. Armen's here. Dave's here. You're here. Talking text line. It is a no rules senior skip day here on No BS. The Nicolay Law Talking text line open to you 877-794-1973. We'll have more of your ridiculous trade offers coming up next. They are coming in fast and furious, and they are really good. You guys really put on your thinking caps today on No Rules Wednesday.
Everybody's off. It's senior skip day.
Senior skip day on No BS on the game.
Hey, it's Matt LePay, your friendly play-by-play voice. I know a good team when I see one, and I found a great one in Ridgetop Exteriors. Let's talk about your home for a minute. It's most likely your biggest investment and where you spend most of your time. So my question for you, is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with leading manufacturers including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of five-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for your home improvement project. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today, online at ridgetopexteriors.com, and consultations are always free. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough nose and throat evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Could your vehicle's sound system use an upgrade? At Charisma Customs, we can help. Upgrade your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. From a simple stereo install, adding Apple CarPlay, or adding a subwoofer, Charisma Customs can transform your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat. Don't like speeding tickets? We also install radar and laser defense systems. Enjoy your ride and stay protected. Call Charisma Customs today, 262-444-2525, or check us out at charismacustoms.com.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you. Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Here's Comedians and Skechers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers Slip-Ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, Slip-Ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers Slip-Ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Today's rain won't be quite as heavy as yesterday, but will continue with showers off and on right through into the overnight. High near 48, strong northeast wind throughout the day today, shifting northwest tonight. We'll go from 48 during the day to 46 tonight, and then back into the 50s tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Argo Glass and Windows.
No need to replace windows when you can repair them. Argo Glass and Windows, always offering free estimates. Rotted wood, foggy glass, hard to slide patio door. There's no need to replace if you can repair them. Visit ArgoWindowRepair.com.
Follow us on Instagram at 97.3 The Game.
It's the best place to keep up with Milwaukee sports.
Pre-game and post-game videos and plenty of other stuff. Follow us now, 97.3 The Game on Instagram.
Well, we do come back with some breaking news, and it does concern the tush push. It will survive for at least one more year. The NFL tried to, and the Packers tried to ban the tush push.
They tried to push out the tush, and the tush will push on.
The tush will push on.
Yes,
but
Adam Schefter had that. Yep.
The vote needed 24 teams to vote no for the tush push. 22 voted no. So an overwhelming majority of teams wants to ban it, but it's still not the super majority, 2/3.
Which you needed like a mandate of it. And listen, maybe those two vote. Maybe it was
3/4.
Jason Kelsey's.
Math is hard.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
2/3.
2/3. Maybe it was Jason Kelsey's impact. He went to Minnesota.
Could you imagine? So Jason, the story that came out a few minutes ago was that Jason Kelsey was in Minneapolis, or is in Minneapolis, trying to lobby owners to keep the tush push because he's got a vested interest as a lifelong Philadelphia Eagle, as someone who was in the trenches, someone who played center for that team, won a Super Bowl championship.
And I think they mentioned he did it on their request.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Could you imagine an NFL owner being swayed by Jason Kelsey?
Yeah.
No shade on Jason Kelsey.
Of course not.
I enjoy New Heights. I think that everything that he's been doing, except that ridiculous ESPN show on Friday nights that nobody watched. Other than that, I am a fan of everything that he's done. But could you imagine being an NFL billionaire owner being swayed by Jason Kelsey about the tush push? What?
Yeah, I don't get that. Like that was what my initial thought was it's weird for two reasons. It's one that weird to me that he cares enough about it. Now, I guess if he cares about the Eagles, that's not weird. He wants to do what helps them. And if they ask him, he's willing to do it for them. But yeah, who's going to get swayed by it? Like, I had this idea. I thought about it a lot. We talked to our people. This is what we believe in. But, Jason Kelsey's in the coffee room telling us about how he'd really like it. And it's all because he wants the Eagles to win more, right?
Well, sure.
So why the hell would an owner of a different team care that he wants the Eagles to win more?
Well, I can teach you guys how to do it too.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Like, we're sitting around here and we're the Titans and, we want the Eagles to win more. Jason wants the Eagles to be helped.
Yeah,
I think we should think about it.
A couple of the teams that maybe were persuaded, but Adam Schefter putting out teams that sided with the Eagles included the Ravens, Patriots, Jets, and Detroit Lions.
Well, the Lions would vote down anything that the Packers want. So
is it as simple as any team that has good quarterbacks and strong lines that want to use the tush? Well, I wish teams sometimes would be a little more like perspective forward thinking than for what's good for the game than just, will this help our team this next couple seasons?
So the teams that say those teams again, Dave. So it was the
Ravens, Patriots, Jets, and Lions.
Okay, so Ravens, they run the ball.
Yeah, I would think that the Bills would they ran it a lot as well. I'm sure that they probably voted against it.
Maybe okay.
So, but a lot of these teams that voted against it, I do think that there's a lot of spite between the Packers and the Lions.
Yeah, possibly. I believe that's possible.
Not everybody here's a news flash for you. Not everyone always gets along. And that sometimes includes individual franchises. I would say individual owners. I don't know that Sheila Ford and Mark Murphy have any kind of animosity, but you certainly know the franchises do.
Yeah, but in the end, maybe this is an indicator that it's coming in the future. 22-10. It's like, Hall of Fame voting gets closer and creeps closer and closer.
Maybe.
But owners don't change either. This is ownership vote, right?
Yeah, it's an ownership vote.
So
but there is about to be one.
Well, there is about to be. I'm saying it often doesn't change much, but there is about to be one.
So it'll be Ed Policy making those final decisions. Maybe Ed was involved in this one, but obviously it was put forth by the Packers, so they were going to vote for it.
Does the board make the decision then how he's supposed to vote, Mark? I mean, so
I don't think so.
That would be
I think
my
Mark
main
is
question.
officially on the job until July, and then it's Ed's show.
But he can make a unilateral decision, or will they just take the recommendation of the board?
I think that he could, but I don't think that he would.
Right.
I think those are two different things. I think that he has the. I have not gone into the bylaws of the Packers Corporation. So I don't know for a fact. I believe that Mark Murphy could make a unilateral decision that Ed Policy would disagree with. I just don't think that he would do that.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
Because Ed's coming in a month and a half, and he can just reverse it, whatever the decision is. So it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
And I think there's that continuity that Mark Murphy sought out and the board agreed with, and that's why Ed Policy is going to be the guy moving forward in Green Bay, which is a natural selection. And the only one that I thought made any sense whatsoever. They were banning about a couple of other different names up there that made absolutely no sense. The only name that made sense was Ed Policy.
Yeah. The Eagles, by the way, tweeted just a picture of them about to run the tush pusher sneak against the Packers with Jalen Hurts with the words "push on" in the Eagles logo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course they did that. All right. It's no BS on the game. Stay with us.
Get your tickets now for Brewapalooza, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, June 13th at AmFam Field. Here's the deal. Get a game ticket for the Brewers and Cardinals and our Left's Lucky Town pregame tailgate for just $45. We're almost sold out, so get your tickets now at 973thegame.com/Brewers.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. With over 50,000 satisfied patients, people with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Drew Wilson here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge and the Drew and KB Show. When you're hungry for a pizza, take it to the house and pair your favorite beer for a true Draft House experience at home. With 3 crust options, original hand-tossed, crunchy thin crust, and new rising crust options, it's easy to live your best frozen pizza life with Pep's Draft House Pizza. My personal favorite is the Brawlin' Buffalo Chicken paired with an American Pale Ale. The perfect combination, delivering a knockout punch you won't be able to resist.
Hey, y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
As down payments get bigger, millions of renters across America feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. So instead of lowering expectations, Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus, helping more renters become owners. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough, but with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get a free quote at ethos.com/win. That's ethos.com/win.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Calling all Costco members and deal lovers. Ready to elevate your odor fighting game? Find Old Spice Swagger deodorant at Costco and unleash 24/7 freshness when used daily. Old Spice Swagger isn't just any deodorant, it's the #1 aluminum-free deodorant brand, providing long-lasting scent and 24/7 odor protection when used daily. You'll smell so good, you might just attract a fan club. Don't wait! Grab your 4-pack of Swagger deodorant at Costco now, because freshness is mandatory.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel.
Let's get this going right now.
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
You know, over the years, the Packers have had some losses in Minneapolis, and they had another one today, as the NFL has decided, at least the owners have, by a vote of 22-10, in favor of eliminating the tush push. But you needed 24 votes, not 22. It's going to stick around after Wednesday morning debates that included speeches from Jeffrey Lurie, who owns the Eagles, and future Hall of Famer and former Eagles center Jason Kelce. The NFL did not pass an amended proposal from the Packers that would have functionally eliminated the Eagles' signature quarterback sneak play that helped them to their Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, again, I think the weird part is like their lobbying seemed to be based on telling your literal opponents that are trying to beat you, we want this, you want you to vote on this because it helps us win more.
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would anyone care about that?
Great job, 10 owners. Well, you knew that Lurie was going to vote for it, so great job, 9 other owners.
It might happen soon. I mean, it's 22 votes is a lot.
They bring it up again.
Yeah, I think it'll continue to. I think it'll get closer until they want to keep pushing it. No pun intended.
I see what you did there. So yeah, the tush push sticks around for a while, at least another season. Moving on to baseball, as the late great Lou Brown would say, 3 wins is a streak, and it has been known to happen.
Terang, a BB into deep left center. It is gone. Another homer for Bryce Terang. Sitting dead red on 3-1.
Bryce Terang, power hitter. Who had that on their bingo card for the 2025 baseball season?
You know, when you combine what he can do defensively, and especially if you're, an analytics guy, you like to look at WAR. Bryce is once again their best player, right?
I mean, the defense combined with his exceptional offense, what he's been able to do this year, and I mean, Dude, also like he peppers the second deck in BP. I mean, he has some power in there.
Of all the home runs, I saw this stat on the television broadcast last night. Just average distance of home runs, he has the longest average distance.
So that's amazing. So it's in there, and now listen, he had a great first half of the year last year power wise, and that kind of fell off. But if you want to talk about, we do a lot with William about guys you should start thinking about a next contract for. I think you got to think about an extension for Bryce.
Oh, absolutely. I've been pounding the table for that for a while now, and then Sal Frelick putting in some home runs yesterday too.
Yeah, last night
did have one.
Final score 5-2 home runs from Sal Frelick, Bryce Terang, and Sal Frelick.
When you have guys like Sal and Bryce hitting them, that tells you something. You expect Reese a little bit, but then you'll get Yelich and Contreras going too, and Churio. So that's the kind of thing where you want to be able to beat people in different ways. So it was huge.
Series finale is this afternoon starting at 12:10. It's been the theme of our show today because it's senior skip day.
It is, senior skip day.
So there are no rules.
Right, none.
As we've kind of talked about for the first 2 hours of the program. So keep your ridiculous trades coming. And I've got another one about, this is right up your alley, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I can't wait.
Also, last night in baseball, the Cubs, they thumped the Marlins 14-1. It was the Pirates over the Reds 1-0. Tigers turn away the Cardinals 5-4 in the division. Moving on to basketball, game 1 goes to the Thunder.
He has 7 of their 9 points. The Randall-Jalen Williams matchup will be fun.
Hartenstein knocks it away on the double team. Wallace alley up to Hartenstein.
ESPN with the call, 114-88. The Thunder beat up on the Timberwolves in game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. SGA had 31 points, and he'll probably win MVP tonight because the league announced that they were going to make that announcement this evening.
Yeah, in the straw poll, he had like 73% of the first place votes. I would be shocked if it wasn't him.
So it's Nikola Jokic and Giannis, the other 2 finalists. So Giannis will finish 3rd.
I think that's exactly what will happen. Although I think he's been just as good as the other 2 this year. But
I agree.
You know how it is. Narrative award. It's SGA's turn. So
yeah, I hate that. You're not wrong. But I hate that.
I always joke with Billy, if you want to bet futures, that's the one you can just bet based on human behavior, how people are going to vote instead of just voting on an actual result. Right?
So dumb.
Yeah.
Game 1 tonight between the Pacers and the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. We've been talking about the Admirals a little bit because we're in our Admirals gear.
Represent. Go Admirals.
Representing today.
Game 3 tonight.
Watching
Let's
the
get
stream.
it done. Yeah, let's go.
Game 3 tonight. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. If you're in Milwaukee and you're listening on 97.3 The Game, we'll have the game for you tonight starting at 7 o'clock. Pregame at 6:30 over on Fox Sports 920, or you can listen to it worldwide on the iHeartRadio app.
And you never want to miss an Aaron Sims call. They are electric. He's fantastic.
He's the best.
Coach Carl Taylor's done a great job with these guys. Go out and support them tonight if you have a chance as well. Bring your radios along with you. Your phones, actually. What am I thinking? Your radios.
I mean, you
it's
could.
1995.
You could bring your boombox. You could bring your little Magnavox transistor radio like I had when I was a kid.
What was
listening to
what,
Bob
what were the headphone radio things your dads would wear?
Walkman.
But there was like they'd wear it was just headphones, but it had a radio attached to it.
Yeah, I don't know what they were called.
Those were great.
My
Those
dad
were
had one of
great
those because every dad had one of those.
For cutting grass, for going to games, every dad had them. Those
my
were
dad
great.
has one of those.
Yeah.
I listen to podcasts when I mow the lawn.
Sure.
I have headphones that are like that, but they, as they do, attach to the phone now.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth.
It's all Bluetooth. Everything's Bluetooth now. So take along whatever you would like to listen to the
Go
game.
Admirals.
When it starts at 7 o'clock. That is game 3. Game 4 is Friday night at 7 o'clock. And if necessary, Sunday's game 5 will be a 6 o'clock face-off, all at Panther Arena. And coming up tonight in the Western Conference Final in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's game 1 between the Oilers and the Stars. So the owners' meetings are going on right now. And I know one of the things that they're going to be talking about are more international games as well. Jeff is hanging on in Superior. He hit us up on the talk and text line, the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 877-794-1973. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for bringing up this topic. I had a half-hour conversation with someone at the Packers, communications or public relations person. We talked for 30 minutes on this topic.
Wow, nice. You got a 30-minute audience? Man, that's good.
Well, the thing is, I'm a Packer shareholder. I've been a shareholder for.
He's the owner.
I didn't mean to. Are you the owners' meetings? You should be.
Yeah, I've been to several.
Just drive me. You're close enough. Superior. You can just drive over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So that's good.
What do you got? Yeah. So what?
Well,
hit us.
I'm not happy about the international expansion. I don't like the NFL forcing us 32 teams or even the Packers, to go play games over there because they want to raise revenue. The whole goal is to raise revenue.
Well, the
And
whole goal is
I think
to get more international eyes on
to grow the game. And you could say that, yeah, the ultimate goal in growing the game is to grow revenue. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to say you're wrong on that.
Well, that's what they tell me, and I'm not happy about that, and I'm not alone. The person at the Packers said they've been getting a lot of calls from shareholders expressing dismay about the idea. They don't want to do it. We don't want to do it, to the point where we're thinking of turning in our share. Just, okay, I'll walk away from it. Why get upset about something I can't control? And, here's my share. Thank you very much. It's been fun.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. And I say this with all due respect, and I don't mean to. Why would you do that?
Because I can't control the direction of the Green Bay
You never
Packers.
could. You never
I don't
could
even have a vote.
I mean,
I can vote for the board of directors.
Sure, but you're one of several tens of thousands of voters, and
there's 500,000. They say there's 500,000 shareholders.
Great, 500,000 shareholders, but the Packers are also only one of 32.
That's the other thing. It's not a Packers decision per se.
Yeah, it's not a Packers decision. It's something that if you want to turn, I wouldn't. This isn't the hill that I would die on. Okay, because the Packers, you've been a shareholder for 30 years. You've seen probably both Super Bowls, both the Super Bowl 31 and Super Bowl 45, both of those championships. With the joy that's given you, with the joy that this team has given you throughout your entire lifetime, that's the hill that you're going to die on.
Well, sometimes it's better to walk away when you feel good about where you've been instead of where you're going. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but I would assume the pride of ownership means something to you, right? In the Packers. So you want to give that up for something that it's not really even a Packer issue, in my opinion. I mean, the NFL is going in a certain direction, and I'm not sure it's going to have the result you want. I mean, are you trying to make your voice heard by doing that? Is that what you mean? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just curious.
No. I'm only one person. I'm not going to change what people decide. I get that. But I kind of want to close my eyes, walk away, and just say thank you. And, I'm not happy about it, but why get upset about it? I can't control it anyway.
That's true. So, yeah. So you just feel like it's a good time to end your reign as owner, right? And just to relinquish it to a different owner. I get that a little bit. I would say this.
It's been a great ride.
It shouldn't change your enjoyment of the sport, though. Like, I don't think it will. I'm saying shouldn't, like, I don't think it will happen.
I mean, I think that there, in my opinion, and again, just one guy's opinion, I think that there are bigger hills to die on than this.
Yeah, well, I don't plan to die.
Well, just walk away. Figuratively speaking, you know what I mean.
Do you think
I'm not being literal?
What makes you most upset about it? Do you believe, like, okay, this is America's game, and you're afraid it won't be?
Thank you.
It won't. I'm just asking, is that how you feel? I'm assuming that's
yes.
But do you think that'll change the way you enjoy
American
the game?
Football. Yeah, I think it's American football, and I don't think we need to go over to Europe to get more fans. I just don't like the idea of expansion for money, and I just don't like how it feels. I don't need European fans to be my fellow Packer fans. I don't need that. I don't feel the need.
It's interesting because we met a lot of international Packer fans when we were in New Orleans. Now, I didn't really have the ability to meet so many until then, but there were a lot that came to cover, the Super Bowl.
A bunch of them at the draft too.
And there are so many international Packer fans, and it kind of humbled me. It took me by surprise. I think you might feel differently, Jeff, if you met them and understood that they have a lot of the same passion you do for the Packers. Just because they live in a different country doesn't mean they don't have that.
Here's one of the things that I've seen over the years, Jeff. I've seen people for the first time walk into Lambeau Field that may not be from this country, and they just it's a bucket list for them. And there's a sign on the wall inside Lambeau Field and inside the employee and media entrance that says today is someone's bucket list. And that's not just domestically, that's internationally. Yeah. I've seen so many people from around the world embrace this team more than just about any other team in the NFL because it's community owned, because of fans like you, to be honest with you.
Okay, so if we start playing games over in Europe, which I guess we're planning to do that in the next 5 years, every NFL team's going to be doing that.
Correct.
I think that dilutes. I think it dilutes the. I think it dilutes the product. I just don't like the idea of going over there.
You don't like it, but what specifically would dilute it? I mean, the game would be the same, and you're watching it the same way. I'm assuming because you're not going. Are you saying you lose a home game and you go to Lambeau, or are you just saying that because if you're watching all the games on TV like I am, or listening on the radio like I am, it would be the same product. It would just be a different field, but you'd be seeing a field on TV, right? Like it doesn't really change you might see different fans in the crowd in a different place.
Well, I would say what's next? Are we going to start putting our logo in a foreign language, etc.?
Well,
I mean,
I think the G is. Well, I don't know. I mean,
well, I mean, maybe, but here's the other thing. Just because there's more for others doesn't mean there's less for you.
I just don't get
well,
it.
I really appreciate the discussion.
No, me too.
I'm 64 years old and I'm kind of stubborn.
I know. That's okay. That's okay.
We found that out, Jeff.
I'm trying to gain, and I appreciate it because I'm trying to gain a further understanding of how you feel. Like for me, I'll just tell you my opinion, Jeff. I love when more people are excited about my favorite team than the other way around. Like, so for me, it's exciting to know that we have a big international fan base. I love the Packers. I love Packer fans. I love Packer Nation. I love what the Packer legacy means. And I like the idea that we are the team everybody likes. Like, I want everybody in the world to be a Packer fan.
I agree.
In an ideal world.
And it doesn't mean any less for us.
No, it's more fun to me. So I don't think it takes away.
Okay.
If anything, I think it makes you as a shareholder more of an envious figure to others.
And if
like,
you go,
wow, you're a shareholder, that's pretty cool.
And if you go to London, if you go to Munich, if you go to, I don't know, Madrid or anywhere else, and you find somebody else who's wearing a Packers jersey, I mean, you can go up and you've got that commonality. I mean, the world is getting smaller, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. So,
well, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate hearing all these thoughts. You guys are the people I wanted to talk to. When I talked to the Packer person, I said, I'll continue to talk sports radio, these guys, who think about it all the time, but I'm just not sold on the idea. I hear everything you're saying, but I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's your right to
stubborn, I guess.
You can feel however you want to feel.
It's your right to feel the way you want. It's your right to your opinion. Thanks for calling in and sharing it.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
I will say this also, if you got that much of an audience with someone from the Packers, I mean,
that's pretty good. Well,
that means they cared enough to talk to you.
One of the owners.
Yeah.
It's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Can't hang up on team owner.
Yeah, right. You can't hang up on a team.
And what I said is true. Like you can think you understand, like, okay, there are Packer fans other places, but when you come face to face and talk to these guys, I'm thinking of my guy Mariano. Okay. I'm thinking of my guy. I'm blanking to where he was from exactly, but he was with Mundo NFL, the outlet that they had so much passion for the Packers.
Sure.
It was incredible. And Dare from Ireland was talking to us down at the Super Bowl in Ireland. He's talking about, tell me what it's like what's Lambeau like? I've never been there. It's awesome to hear the passion of other people because you can relate to that as a passionate fan of your team.
Right.
And you're like, I love that you love it so much. Sometimes that perspective is also a blessing because you lose perspective sometimes being so used to the fact that we get to see Lambeau so much, that we get to be Packer fans. You sometimes take that for granted as much as you might not think you do. And you hear that the someone else is dripping with passion for your team. And you're like, I really appreciate the way you present, like you remind me why I love the Packers so much and why I have so much my passion. So in that sense, to me, it's a blessing. That's just the way I look at it.
It was one of the strokes of genius, I thought, when the Packers put that reminder on the wall. Today is someone's bucket list. And the first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, it really is. That's why there are tours that go on. Now we're, as you mentioned, we're at Lambeau Field all the time. And it's easy to take it for granted because if you cover the team, not only are you there on game day, but you're also there during the week. Oftentimes you're there when nobody else is there. And when I say nobody else, I mean when there's not 80,000 fans in the stadium, when there's not a game going on, when there's otherwise an empty stadium bowl there, except for the tours that go on. And when you're there and you see one tour after another, I don't have the demographics in front of me, but I do know that there are a lot of folks that are not from Wisconsin that are in those tours. And this is the only chance that they ever get to see Lambeau Field. And people make pilgrimages to Lambeau Field. A cousin of mine.
He's a great point. It's really quick. It's the same way when I was in Rome, I went to the Vatican.
Right.
I don't think there are more international people coming to in Venice than actual Venetians living there,
Sure.
Because the world wants to see what makes your home so great. And that's a blessing, in my opinion.
Of course it's a blessing. I had a cousin who they live, she and her husband live in very rural, kind of on the border of Wyoming and Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they came for, I think it was my niece's graduation a few years ago.
And they wanted to go see Lambeau?
And they wanted to go see Lambeau. And they said, well, how far is, they didn't know. I mean, they don't know Wisconsin.
Just like I wouldn't know Wyoming, right?
Right.
Same idea.
100%. So how far is Green Bay from here? And it's like, yeah, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe we'll go up there. Maybe we won't. I'm like, yeah, listen, if you want to go up there, fine. But I can't imagine why you would want it because it's not open. There's nothing going on. It was a Sunday.
You're thinking why you take the drive up and all that.
2.5 hours later, I get a picture on my phone from them standing outside of Lambeau Field because they
Right.
just wanted to see it.
Right, of course.
They just wanted to, oh my God, we're at Lambeau Field.
How many people
And that's
living-
what we take it for granted.
How many people living in Pisa probably roll their eyes at all the buses coming every day,
all of them,
just to see a leaning
Everyone
tower?
Putting the hands up, taking the photo,
Which is
trying to be like
exactly
they're
what it
holding
is.
the thing.
I asked my Aunt Helen one time when I was a kid. I was probably 8 or 9 years old. She lived in New York her entire life in the Throgs Neck neighborhood of the Bronx. And we had just gone past because we were tourists. My dad drove in Manhattan, which I wouldn't recommend for anybody, but he was driving from Manhattan to get into the Bronx.
Yeah.
And the Statue of Liberty was right there in New York Harbor. It was like the first time I'd ever seen the Statue of
Yeah,
Liberty.
of
So I
course.
asked my Aunt Helen, who's about 80 years old, hey, we saw the Statue of Liberty today. How often do you get to go see the Statue of Liberty? How often do you get down there? It's like, I haven't seen it in 40 years. You haven't seen it in 40 years.
40 years.
You're 3 miles from it.
3 miles away.
And you haven't
And you've
seen it
never
in
gone.
40
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So it just, sometimes when we're so close to something, no matter what it is, everyone else seems to covet it that's not from
I
there.
agree. Yeah, you appreciate what someone else has more than your. I totally get that. You don't appreciate what's in your own backyard. Hey, listen, it's an interesting reaction and it engenders some good discussion. A lot of reaction on the text line to this. A lot disagree. Some agree with Jeff. So, hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Mark and Eagle, I want to read this one. Totally agree with him about international games. No reason to inconvenience NFL teams and American fans to pander to the almighty dollar. The game is great as is. The games over there are played at a lower level. Teams seem to struggle. I have to believe it has something to do with the travel and time difference. I agree that I don't want money to totally rule the sport. I agree the games is great as is. I'm not sure I agree that the games there are necessarily worse. Sometimes
The
they seem
Packers
that way.
haven't played well overseas. They're 0-2 in their
Right, but the quality of games in general. I mean, there are some bad games too every week in the NFL. We just don't think about it. But I don't know that American fans are inconvenienced. That's the one thing I don't agree with.
You get
The
up
early
early.
wake up call is kind of
Yeah,
like,
but
okay, got to wake up at 8
But you
a.m.
get up and you watch football all day long.
It's not
Yeah.
absurdly early. I mean, if you lived in
It's like
California,
8:30.
what time's the game in California when you get up? Like, I guess if you're in the West Coast, it is.
So that's 2 hours from here. So if the noon kickoffs are 10 a.m. kickoffs,
I also love having 12 hours of football.
that's what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, that's that's kind of
And more than that, because you get up if it's an 8 o'clock kickoff in London or
Sure.
Munich or wherever. If it's an 8 o'clock kickoff there, that flows into the pregame. So 8 plus 3, that gets you to 11 o'clock, hour-long pregame show on Fox noon kickoffs. That'll flow into the 3:25 kickoffs, which will flow after a short, dinner break or whatnot for football night in America. And then you get the Sunday night game of the week.
Yeah, you get Carrie Underwood, and there you go.
You get, right. So if you're starting at 8, you're wrapping it up. That's about 14, 15 hours of almost straight football.
Yeah, I get you might. Some people wake up early. To me, as a Packer fan, it's only going to inconvenience me if it's my team.
Well,
because I don't have to
inconveniences
wake
us because we work on the broadcast.
Well, let's say I didn't. I don't. To me, in my mind, I don't have to wake up for Cardinals Panthers. If I want to watch it, sure. That's true though. If you want to watch every game in the NFL and Sunday Ticket and Red Zone and all that, well, Red Zone's different because at the same time, if you don't watch every game, you're going to inconvenience yourself anyway. You'll be watching every game during the week. You're going to be spending all your time on football. So
yeah, the pregame show host, I'm sure, has a wonderful time on those 7 a.m. kicks.
That's true. But listen,
Well-
I appreciate the discussion.
That London kickoff, that was a little gnarly
Yeah,
That was,
for the pregame guys.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. It was an early day for us. I remember getting here in the middle of the night.
I remember getting here, and after I
3:30,
got done with Packers game day, I think I went and made pancakes.
You did. It was great. We got a chance for Doug to cook breakfast.
There you go.
I was so excited about that. So,
But it's not going to happen this year. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that the Packers will play an international game.
I'll have to say a lot of the reaction from those that would agree with Jeff say it's the general degradation of the product. don't think I agree with that. I don't think the product's getting worse because of it.
The coaches and the players, by and large, now there are outliers.
Yeah.
By and large, don't love it because it's a disruption of their schedule. The coaches hate it.
Of course, it's a bigger inconvenience. I get not wanting to travel for it. That's like anybody that doesn't want to go long, have a longer commute for
But
work.
here's what I would say about, and I would say this to anybody who doesn't like a certain part of their job, a certain element of their job, but that's the job.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't want to do this because of this, maybe we're just going to find somebody who's going to be able to do this portion of this because that's part of the job. And right now, if you're an NFL coach, part of the job is to suck it up and to play these international games. It's inevitable. Everybody's doing it. And it's part of a bigger plan to grow the game. I understand. I get where Jeff is coming from, up into the point where turning in his share. I don't.
The one thing
understand
I don't understand, I can't agree with is I think his point was like, I don't want them to like our team. I don't want outsiders.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I don't like
it's
that.
just regular people, man. Like, just try and step outside your comfort zone a bit and test your limits a bit. It's not like
I want Dieter in Munich to be a
theirs.
Packers fan.
I don't think like Englanders care that so many Americans like EPL teams, or like I don't think they're upset about it. Like, I don't want you part of this. It's a very closed-minded. I don't know.
I want Clive in Liverpool.
wrong.
I want Clive in Liverpool to be a Packers fan.
Yeah, I want him to be wearing an Edger and Cooper jersey. It's like, is that an Edger and Cooper jersey? There
That's
you
what
go,
I'm
buddy.
saying.
Right. You can't convince me that my experience is going to be worse because somebody in Manchester is going to be wearing a Packer jersey. I like that.
More for the world doesn't mean less for me.
Yes, I want us to be everybody's favorite team.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well.
Talking text line is open to you. The Nicolay Law talking text line, as a matter of fact, 877-794-1973. Billy is on assignment today. He's back tomorrow. Doug Russell in, Armen's here, Dave's here, you're here. Stay with us. No BS on the game.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your Green Bay football buddy John Kuhn here, reminding you to buckle up for safety whenever you get in your vehicle. Whether you're driving to work, school, shopping, or to catch the big game, remember, click it or ticket. Buckling up saves lives. Every trip, every time. Don't risk it, guys. It's not worth the ticket or the danger. Click it or ticket. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Brought to you by Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
People can't stop screaming about Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. And no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's frozen aisle and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screaming is about.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey y'all, this is singer-songwriter Riley Green, and my idea of a good time is grabbing a guitar, a few good friends, and some cold and smooth Busch Lights. Pick up a case of your own this weekend. No guitar needed.
Busch. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your escape, your backyard retreat, your deck. Build it better with Trex from Blifford Lumber, the original composite decking. Trex is famously durable, comes in a variety of colors, needs no staining, painting, or sealing. And with Blifford Lumber's decking experts, your Trex deck will be the life of your backyard. Build it better, build it local with Trex decking from Blifford Lumber. For a Blifford Lumber nearest you in Milwaukee or in the surrounding areas, visit BliffordLumber.com
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big Three this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big Three. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice. Oh, yay, yay!
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Adam Pavlak here. Wednesday afternoons, I'm living the high life with Drew and KB. Thanks to my friends at Miller High Life. The champagne of beers, always flavorful, always refreshing. So join us, raise that bottle, and welcome to the high life.
KB here. Who doesn't love pizza? I mean, I do. I like to visit my favorite pizza places, but sometimes my craving hits and I don't have time to go out and eat. So I go to my freezer, pull out a Pep's Draft House pizza, because Pep's Draft House pizza isn't one of those just toss a pizza in the oven pizzas. It's made right here in Wisconsin with tons of toppings and real Wisconsin cheese. No one is crushing one of these. Don't believe me? Try one today and make your house a Draft House with Pep's Pizza.
Do you take pride in your vehicle and love that new car shine? If you want your vehicle to be the shiniest on the road, then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. With Z-Gloss, we will professionally clean and polish your paint to the absolute maximum shine. Then lock in and enhance that shine with a 3-layer ceramic paint coating. Z-Gloss will make your paint shine like a diamond and protect the finish from everything Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated, you can skip the lotion after.
Don't want to see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough, but with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across our multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get a free quote at ethos.com/win. That's ethos.com/win.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
All right, we got to make some money for Billy. He's on assignment today.
Indeed, he's on assignment, but we take over, which is always a fun time, right? When I get to take the reins.
When we get to play with Billy's money.
I get to play with his money, get to put his name on it, so win or lose, whatever, you know.
Win or lose, it's not a loss for us.
We are trying to win, though. Yesterday, Nick accused Trevor of not really taking it seriously. That was a little contentious.
Wow.
During the
We don't
wise
like
guy
that.
pick. But it is Billy's Parlay of the Day, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Obviously, Potawatomi Sportsbook, your favorite place to go, right down in Canal Street to put a wager in. Sportsbook is that beautiful, big, curved screen, LED screen, plus almost 100 kiosks for your betting. All your betting pleasure, your betting menu. You can also scan that QR code, make your bet builder, get the QR code, get in, get out, get your bets in. All right, so a few games going on today. Obviously, the Brewers play again, home against the Orioles, trying to get the sweep, and it's worked for us the first two games. So why not? Let's start with the Brewers money line, -121 right now. It just changed a little bit, but hey, why not? I think the Brewers are going to keep streaking. Let's keep these good vibes going. Brewers money line to start it off.
Okay, love it.
Tyrese Halliburton. Well, obviously tonight the Pacers and the Knicks start game one of the series. No, I'm not going to say I sit here and love hoping Tyrese Halliburton scores a lot of points, but if I'm thinking realistically, the Pacers are at their best when Tyrese is aggressive. He's been picking up his scoring here so far in this playoff run for the Pacers. I think they know they need him to be more aggressive, active to win. So I think they're going to try, and he's going to try and do that here in game 1 in New York. 18.5 is his line, even money line at -113 for points. I think he'll clear that. So that's the second leg, Tyrese Halliburton over 18.5 points. And then finally, I have the Cubs at the Marlins. I think the Cubs are better. I think they're going to win. They blew them out last night. The reason I took the run line is the Cubs have scored a lot of runs in a lot of their games this year. When they win, they tend to win by a lot. So that increases the odds all the way up to 602 right now, that some of the odds just changed.
Okay.
So instead of just taking the money line, I'm going for the run line here to try and get this thing up plus 600 plus. So it's right now plus 602. Cubs run line -1.5. Brewers money line and Tyrese Halliburton over 18.5.
All right, love it. There's your parlay of the day at Potawatomi Sportsbook. So we've talked a lot about a lot of different things today. It's Senior Skip Day, unofficially in Milwaukee. Again, if anyone needs me to sign their permission slip by the powers vested in me that don't exist by the Federal Communications Commission, I will go ahead and sign that for you. I make no guarantees of how effective it will be, but it is Senior Skip Day and there are no rules. We talked to Jeff in Superior, who wants to turn in his stock certificate for the Packers because of the international games. I understand that he doesn't like the international games. I get it. I don't think that that's the line in the sand that I would draw, but to each their own. And we're also talking about ridiculous trades. And so we've been talking about the Giannis trade. Paul Skeens was brought up.
Sure.
And then we kind of expanded it out. Like Ted in the 920, he is asking if he would trade Kelly from Saved by the Bell for Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, it's good. It's tough. It's tough for for someone like me. You know, those are the glory days, right?
It depends on who you're starting with and who you're receiving. So if you're starting with Topanga, would you then trade for Kelly Kapowski?
Yeah, I would. See, they're both on my Mount Rushmore, along with Christine Lakin, who played Alice Step by Step, amongst others. I've always been consistent in this that Kelly Kapowski is still the GOAT. She's still the Babe Ruth of that group.
But who's more loyal? I would say Topanga might be more loyal than Kelly because she kind of flitted between Slater and
not only that. I mean, there was the manager at the Max.
His manager at the Max.
Professor Lasky, I think, in the college years, if you remember Saved by the Bell, the college years, which most don't, but I do. She dated Professor Lasky.
Wasn't Bob Golick in that?
Yeah, he was. He was the RA.
Yeah.
So it was actually a funny show for a season. I stand on this. I think it was good. I liked it. It only lasted one season. You might get more loyalty out of Topanga in that sense. But Topanga and Corey had their issues. There was another guy involved, and Corey was, I think that was a storyline for a while. I do remember that. That hurt a lot of us when Topanga was going to not stay with Corey. But
yeah, but Corey kind of had it coming.
Well, sure, I agree. No, listen, no. I mean,
but
so did Zach Morris.
Anymore, really?
Yeah,
Zach Morris was a tool. Zach Morris was an awful human being.
So in a lot of ways, you could say that like he deserved that more than Corey did. I don't know. We're really getting into some history.
I've got a trade proposal here for you guys.
Yeah,
I want to run by you in honor of the tush push staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
The tush push for the tuck rule.
Well, they fixed the tuck rule, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the worst rule? Yeah.
The worst rule was the tuck rule.
Can I go back and change the result of that playoff game between the Raiders and the Patriots?
Would you want the Raiders to win it?
Absolutely.
Because that started the Patriots' run.
Started with all this Brady stuff. Okay, so what would we? The Raiders should have won that game.
Just ask Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
He would tell you the same thing.
The push tush doesn't bother me, but the tuck rule always did. So I'll say I'll take the tuck rule in that trade. Or is that I'll do it.
Unnamed in the 262 says, wait, the Giannis trade, was he traded? Keep up with us. Come on. If he was traded, if Giannis was traded, that's all we would be talking about. That's all anyone would be talking about. Stay with us.
We've only done it for Shohei Ohtani. We've only traded him for that.
Yeah, no trade has actually happened. The story, if you're just joining us, was that Skeens, there was a indication from Heyman that the Skeens would not be traded by the Pirates.
Yeah.
I guess that was the thing.
I saw this Bleacher Report thing like, oh, here are some trade packages of Paul Skeens if the Pirates decide to move them. And that's where Heyman's got to be like, no, it's not happening.
He's got 4.5 years of control.
Yeah.
I mean,
same place.
What are you, stupid?
What are you, high?
What are you, high?
You huffing grass?
I mean, that's got 420 written all over it.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody had written in Joey Potter for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. You're not trading Joey Potter.
I
for
am
anything?
never trading Joey Potter ever. You can throw in anything you want. Try me. Not trading Joey Potter.
Well, I mean, there was a big Joey or what was the other girl?
It was either Joey or Michelle Williams' character.
Michelle,
Jen Lindley.
That's Joey was like
Joey.
favorite. Yeah, okay.
It was Joey.
I'm with you. Yeah.
It was Joey. And Dawson screwed that up so badly. Dawson was such a putz. That's why she wound up with Pacey.
Which is a fair point. Although I do think she should have ended up with Dawson. Some things are just right. But yeah, you can blame Dawson there.
Dawson fumbled the bag on that one.
He did. He fumbled the bag. I'm with you on that one. That's fair. I got to rewatch that one. I got to get that on my rewatch list.
Okay. Yeah.
Joey
Potter forever.
When I watched things when I was 16, I didn't have the understanding and the intelligence I feel like I do now as an older man. So I want to rewatch it through a different prism. I'm exaggerating. I probably was smarter back then. A lot of people reacting still to Jeff and Superior's call about the international games, him wanting to give up his ownership share if the NFL continues to go with international games. Which made me start thinking about what's the real value to people of the ownership share. I thought it was just pride of ownership.
I think that's what it is because it's not like when you turn it in, you're going to get, I don't know how much it was, $300.
$300, whatever. So
you're not getting your $300 back. So if you turn in your stock certificate, if you're the Packers, you're like, oh, okay, one less butt in the seat at the annual shareholders meeting, one last mailer that we've got to send out every year. It's not going to affect them. It might make you feel good in the moment, but is it going to make you feel good long term that you were an owner for 30 years, the Green Bay Packers, and then all of a sudden over this, over international games, just about the most specious thing that you could possibly turn your stock certificate in over. I'm sorry, Jeff. I understand that you don't like the international games. I get it. I just don't think this is the one that is going to be the thing that tips it over.
Yeah, and this is the thing too that Billy likes to talk about with ownership and when guys decide to sell. It's like, look, you're spending $300 for that share and you're turning back in and getting zero. So like that is a negative 300 return on investment that you're getting financially.
Could you get your money back?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
okay.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, now this is an interesting one. This is an angle to that I wanted to bring up before we lost our chance. Brett Okonomowak said this. Excuse me. I don't mind the current state of international, but if you get to the point where a team or division is based overseas, then that would dilute the product. That's an interesting point. That's a different angle of it. I might tend to agree with him more. I'm not sure there should be a team. Now, I'm not talking about Mexico or Canada, but I mean a team that's overseas to the point where every week you have an international team. It becomes an international league.
Well, that's been the threat, seemingly. I don't agree with that. I don't think that there should be a team based in London. That would be the most obvious
But then again,
first choice.
It's not just international because we've had the Blue Jays and we had the Expos.
Right. It's because of the time change.
Right. I don't think did that bother American baseball fans when there was a team in Canada or two teams? I don't know. I mean, I wasn't alive when it started, but I can't imagine people were saying this is our game. Don't let
Probably somebody did.
Sure.
I'm sure somebody, Jeff in Superior, might have been a baseball fan back at the time. I don't know.
And then they were like,
and he was mad about. I have no idea. The Blue Jays
celebrating when Vancouver Grizzlies returned to went to Memphis.
Montreal Expos.
The Montreal Expos started in 1969, I believe, and obviously moved to DC in 2005.
Yeah, 2005, I think.
Both of those teams created a kind of a great legacy in MLB for themselves, especially the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays in '77, they were an expansion team. Montreal was, of all people, that you didn't have this on your bingo card. I sat in the Brewers dugout years ago on a Sunday morning and talked Montreal baseball for a half an hour with Ken Maka.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome. How about that?
Because he played there. He told me all of it. Montreal, it's a great baseball town.
They love baseball in Montreal.
They're just the most wonderful people. They're passionate about the game. They just couldn't figure out the stadium. Basically didn't figure out the stadium.
Yeah.
If they had a decent stadium. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Montreal, when the Blue Jays play exhibition games in Montreal at old Olympic Stadium, which is still standing, they sell it out. Exhibition game. Montreal fans can't get enough of baseball. So it was good for the game. They just couldn't figure out the stadium issue.
I mean, and
Tampa Bay Rays move up there.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, this is the Tampa Bay. Well, they were talking about that, but still the stadium issue still remains.
Oh, yeah.
And Canada has a whole football league.
Well, barely.
I know, but it's a different game, sort of, but it's the same game. There's obviously passion in other places for it. Does that upset? I mean, the NFL Europa, that was I remember kids wearing Ryan Fire jerseys to school. I'm just saying.
The London Monarchs.
I'm surprised it upsets
the Rain Fire.
The Ryan Fire, yeah, Rain, whatever.
Ring of Fire.
And I know, like, Jeff called in, but there's support for his take, and that's just I never thought of it. I have so many people, I guess.
Like I said, I agree with some of the things that he's saying. I agree with, not loving when the Packers go and play international games.
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree with him there. I don't agree with him. Well, we got to keep it here for us. That's the part that I don't.
It does seem insular, yeah. That part of it, I agree.
I don't like it when
I love evangelizing and spreading the gospel of the Green Bay Packers.
I don't want Colin in Brisbane to be a Packers fan, for example.
Yeah, why would I care? I mean, there's so many. Yeah, exactly. Now, Derek and Whitewater did say that even though, and this is a fair point, even though they're EPL games, English Premier League soccer games, even though there's a lot of fans in the U.S., they don't play outside of their country or their home markets because they care more about their fans. Which, I mean, that might be a point. They don't travel to play EPL games in the United States. You play exhibition soccer games.
Yeah, sometimes they play the exhibitions against the MLS All-Stars.
Right.
Like they'll come in here and just beat the brakes
soccer
off
teams
the
play
MLS.
so many friendlies.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
There's a lot less league games.
Yeah.
Or not less, but there's more friendlies than
There's so many. I mean, in a couple of years ago, when it was Manchester City against Bayern Munich up at Lambeau Field, that was in your cell. The weather was terrible that night.
No, the people like soccer,
but people loved it, and it was just a friendly. It was a game that didn't count in the standings, but it was fun to watch two of the best teams in the world.
Do you agree the implication that it necessarily means by playing overseas, you're turning your back on the home fans?
No, I think that they're trying to grow the game.
Right. I tend to agree, although I could see, I guess, that end of it more.
But who's
because you're taking away a home game, like this is our home.
Well, most of the time it was Jacksonville Jaguars because they couldn't sell their tickets. That's why they wanted to play overseas.
Well, that's the other thing. I think that's when people say that the game is worse, like the quality of the game is worse. That's because the Jaguars are the worst teams were playing. So that's why the games always seemed a little bit worse.
Yeah, I get it.
And yeah, the travel and stuff like that, that's possible too. But that's hard to prove.
It's Senior Skip Day here on the game. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line is open to you, 877-794-1973. Is Heller in today? Is he coming up at the top of the hour?
He is. He's in.
Make out the schedule. I should probably know these things. I don't think he's off today.
No, I was talking to Nick. Yeah, he's in.
All right, very good. He's coming up at the top of the hour. I'm Doug in for Billy. He's on assignment. Armen's here. Dave's here. You're here. Talking text line, like I said, is open to you, 877-794-1973. It's no BS on the game.
When they see me out in traffic, they say Jeezy.
Hey, it's Armen, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Rima Remodel. It's been a game changer, all thanks to the Rima Remodel team. RIEMER remodel.com.
The Admirals' quest for the Calder Cup resumes tonight and Friday at 7, presented by Landmark Credit Union. Don't miss the excitement of the Central Division Finals at Panther Arena, both tonight and Friday at 7. Visit MilwaukeeAdmirals.com for more info or download the Admirals app.
For over 8 years, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain, with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and hip pain, gone. Living pain-free from shoulder and back pain. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. It's really remarkable how Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties, carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery is involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. Imagine doing all the things you enjoy this summer without being slowed by that awful joint pain you've been living with. Consultations are free. Call QC Kinetics and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life once again. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Hey, seafood lovers, Sendix Lobster Fest is back. One day only. This Saturday, May 24th, cooked or live lobsters are 2 for just $20. North Atlantic cold water lobsters, a pound each, 2 for $20. Don't miss out. Reserve yours now at Sendix.com. Plus, enjoy shrimp or lobster boil meals and Sendix homemade shrimp and lobster roll this weekend. Learn more at Sendix.com. All all during Sendik's 16th annual Lobster Fest. Sendik's Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
The hot sun, UV rays, algae, and grime can wreak havoc on your boat's finish, but not with a ceramic coating from Charisma Customs. Our premium Expel marine-grade ceramic coating repels water, resists oxidation, and keeps your boat looking showroom new. Less scrubbing, less cleaning, and no more waxing. With a 3-year warranty, your investment stays protected season after season. Enjoy the water, not the work to keep it clean. Call 262-444-2525 or visit charismacustoms.com. Charisma Customs, because your boat deserves the best.
Many people seem to find certain words more pleasing when spoken with a British accent, like squirrel, schedule, and strawberry. But some phrases sound more pleasing in any accent. For example, switch to T-Mobile's new experience plans and the price of your rate plan won't change for 5 years, guaranteed. Here's another pleasing phrase. With T-Mobile, families of 3 can save 20% versus comparable plans plus streaming from AT&T and Verizon. Saving more with T-Mobile sounds very pleasing, don't you agree? Now let's hear it from the man who does the American voiceovers. Mr. T-Mobile voice.
T-Mobile's new experience plans. Families can save 20% today, and your price won't change tomorrow.
Nothing sounds more pleasing than T-Mobile's 5-year price guarantee. We hope you've enjoyed this advertisement.
Guarantees monthly price of on-network talk, text, and 5G data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Savings with 3 lines. 3rd line free via monthly bill credits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. See exclusions and details at tmobile.com/switch.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough, but with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across their multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get a free quote at ethos.com/win. That's ethos.com/win.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Today's rain won't be quite as heavy as yesterday, but will continue with showers off and on right through into the overnight. High near 48, strong northeast wind throughout the day today, shifting northwest tonight. We'll go from 48 during the day to 46 tonight, and then back into the 50s tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Badger Injury Law.
Some lawyers might give you one call, and that's all. But at Badger Injury Law, we think you deserve so much more. More FaceTime, more fight, more justice. Visit badgerinjurylaw.com and get the Badger on your side today.
Follow us on Instagram at 97.3 The Game.
It's the best place to keep up with Milwaukee sports.
Pre-game and post-game videos and plenty of other stuff. Follow us now, 97.3 The Game on Instagram.
WS continues. Dug in for Billy. Armen's here. Dave's here. You're here. Jeff in Fox Point, we got your text, and our heart goes out to you. Jeff and his wife had to put their dog down yesterday. That sucks. That's the one part of pet ownership that just rips you in half.
I never had a dog, but I can only imagine what it'd be like.
It's the worst day. Yeah. It's just the worst thing ever. So our hearts go out to you, and appreciates the show today for kind of keeping his mind occupied and giving him a smile today on an otherwise tough day.
It's humbling that we can be that for you guys out there. So
so that's those are the kind of texts we kind of live for, which is, we just want to get you through your day.
Indeed.
A little bit. And on a senior skip day, no rules Wednesday type of day, the Brewers going for the sweep coming up in about 20 minutes at American Family Field. But Jeff and Fox Point, our hearts, again, I've been through it 3 times and it sucks every time. Just sucks. But we do have Mike Heller coming up at the top of the hour, and we're just kind of going through some of these texts as well, some of the ridiculous trades that we have been proposing and that you guys have been proposing as well. I've got one. Jordan in his prime for Door County.
Ooh.
Your thoughts?
I love that. Door County?
Yeah,
I'm keeping Door County.
I mean,
I'm
it's
sorry.
Illinois' northern peninsula
but
anyway
see,
in the summertime.
You can argue they're both Chicago like properties.
Right.
Door County.
Door County for Jordan in his prime.
Door County is cool. This is hard. It's hard for me to turn down prime Jordan.
I know, right?
Very hard. I mean, is Sturgeon Bay that important to me? I'm taking Jordan. Sorry, Door County. I'm taking Jordan.
6 rings.
Okay.
Sorry, Egg Harbor, and sorry,
Sister Bay
and all the other places.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving up the chance to take prime Jordan.
Okay.
I'm
prime,
taking
it's
it.
prime lakefront.
That's also 2 years of Jordan on the Brewers. Is that correct?
I mean, you could, sure.
That's how I'm going to look at it.
All right.
2 years of Jordan with the Huntsville Stars, probably.
Yeah, good point. That's a fair point. Yeah, good point.
Because didn't somebody propose, what was it?
Ray Allen for the UP.
Ray Allen for the UP?
Yeah.
They're going to ask for more. Although I've been to the UP, and it's not that great. I'm sorry. I've driven through the UP to get to Mackinac Island. Mackinac, however you pronounce it.
Mackinac.
Mackinac. Not that great of a drive. It was not that great. Maybe it's cool to some people, but
yeah. Let's see. Running through some of these. The Brewers making the playoffs year over year over a World Series. Well, obviously that's a trade I'd make. I have been on record for years of saying I would trade one World Series win for a decade of suck.
How long? I was going to say how long? A decade?
20 years of suck.
20 years?
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially a trade the Royals made.
I'm
World Series for a decade of being terrible.
I can't roll with 20 years. That's too long.
Red Hot Tim Knot, Culver's for Whataburger. See, I'm a Whataburger stan, though.
I haven't even had that, but I want Culver's.
It's so good. It's so good.
I don't know. The pot roast sandwich is underrated at Culver's. Underrated. Have it sometime. Very good.
Aaron Rodgers for Nolan Ryan.
No, Nolan didn't win anything. So, well, the 69 Mets did, but he wasn't like the main guy in that. Nolan Ryan do I get all 27 years of Nolan Ryan's career?
Sure.
He almost lost like 300 games.
Lois Griffin for Marge Simpson.
Lois, yes.
Lois.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Although Marge put up with a lot of nonsense.
Oh, I'm not saying Marge isn't a soldier. I'm just saying, man.
Well, so does Lois. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Exactly. Come on, imagine.
How about this one? Yount from Marino. Two guys who got to the World Series / Super Bowl early in their careers and never got back and didn't win it.
Yeah, I'm from Marino.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Well, if you had Marino from 83 to 90.
Yeah.
So does that mean you never get Favre? And who's between Marino and Rodgers?
It's irrespective of anything else. It's just straight up Yount for Marino.
It's tough. I'll have to think about that one.
That's a hard one.
We're out of time, though.
Yeah, I know. We're out of time. Heller's coming up next. Armen, this has been fun. Dave, thank you. I'm Doug. Billy's back tomorrow. He's been on assignment today. Heller's coming up straight ahead. Stay with us. It's the game.
High school.